thumbs up. Please hit the thumbs up, if you would please. Now, tacos. It's not even Tuesday. It's Friday. Is there a such thing as Taco Friday? No, it's just Taco Tuesday, right? Well, anyways, the radical leftist Democrats, they're all saying that President Trump is the whole expression of taco is Trump always chickens out. That's what they're saying. This is the same President Trump that endured so much for the past 4 years. The same President Trump that they tried to take out twice, not once, but twice, that we are aware of. The same President Trump that they raided his home, 4 indictments, 90 something plus charges, fraudulent charges. They even fraudulently convicted him of 34 accounts of fraudulent charges, right? Federal fraudulent charges. They've done everything. They try to remove him from the ballots. But he's supposed to be chicken? Really? Really? Most people that have gone through what President Trump has gone through, they would have dropped out because they would have became chicken. And it's like the media, the liberal left, running with this whole thing trying to say that Trump is chicken. And actually, every single time that the radical Democrat leftists, they always say that when they say something about somebody else, it's actually them. Wouldn't it be brave of them? And it would have to be an act of bravery if they said, okay, you know what? We're going to stop all this stupidity and stop trying to attack President Trump. We're going to put it all to rest. And guess what? We're going to actually start working with President Trump. Why do I call that a sign of bravery? Because of all the other radical leftist, lunatic liberals, they will start attacking them if they started doing that. That's why it would be an act of bravery. Shouldn't be, but it would be. All right, everybody. So the phone line is open, 319-527-3453. Call me. Do you think President Trump is a chicken? A taco? Trump always chickens out. Do you think, seriously, I want you to give me a call. You're watching it. If you're watching this on the replay, I do apologize. I go live Monday through Friday at 11 p.m. Central. Monday through Friday, 11 p.m. Central. 11 p.m. Central. I'm sorry, am I saying p.m.? 11 a.m. Central. 11 a.m. Central, Monday through Friday. I must still be asleep. 11 a.m. Central, I go live Monday through Friday. If you're watching this on the replay, so next Friday, make sure you tune in so you can give me a call about whatever topic it is that we're talking about. But today, I want to know, do you think that President Trump is chicken? They're actually saying President Trump is chicken. And of course, they're trying to get under President Trump's skin. And one of the reasons why they're doing this, trying to ask President Trump, is he chicken, is to get him to make bad decisions. See, they don't like the fact that President Trump is getting all of these other nations to come to the table and work with President Trump. They don't want that. They don't want it to happen. What was the first country that actually said, okay, we're going to have a deal with President Trump? Was it the UK? It was the UK that actually said, okay, yeah, we're going to do the deal with President Trump. And then, of course, what did the radical leftist lunatics say? Oh, that one's, that's low hanging fruit. We kind of expected him to get that one anyways. No, they wanted them to say no. They wanted the UK to say no to Trump. But the UK didn't do that. And other nations are starting to follow suit. They don't want President Trump to be successful. Why? Because that would mean the United States of America is successful. And the Democrats don't want a successful country. Like yesterday, I was talking about where Stephen A. Smith was calling out the MAGA right, which I still don't know what the MAGA right is. Either you are for America or you're not. Either you want America great or you don't. There's no MAGA right because there's no MAGA left. Now, those of us that are on the right, we are MAGA, because we do want the country to prosper. We do want America to be great. And those on the left, they don't. They don't. But again, is Trump a chicken? I don't know anyone who's ever gone through what President Trump has gone through and still stayed in the fight. They tried to take the man out, bleeding from the side of his head. And then he stands up and fight. After all of everything that they put him through, he's still in the game. After everything they put him through, he's still in the game. And they call him chicken. Really? And just like a good negotiator, and this is what they're getting at trying to call President Trump chicken. So President Trump, he implement these tariffs with China. And every time President Trump is making a deal with anybody, President Trump will start off extremely high. He will even admit it. I'll start off with an extremely high number that I wouldn't agree with, that no one should ever agree with, to negotiate with him, bringing it down. That's the way you negotiate. President Trump knows how to work this. He knows how to do this. So listen to President Trump. This is when they were asking President Trump, was he chicken? And the liberal media, they still haven't figured it out. The American people want what President Trump is doing, but they're so butthurt about President Trump's success that they're trying to make him, they're trying to make him react. And President Trump is on their game. He knows exactly what's going on. So look, the phone line is open, 319-527-3453. You call me. Let me know, what do you think? Is Trump chicken or not? And I have some other images that I want to share with you a little bit later on to show what the liberal left has been doing, trying to call President Trump chicken. I'm going to show them to you.
Wall Street analysts have coined a new term called the taco trade. They're saying Trump always chickens out on your tariff threats, and that's why markets are higher this week. What's your response to that?
I kick out?
Chicken out.
Oh, and then I chicken out. I've never heard that. You mean because I reduced China from 145% that I set down to 100 and then down to another number? And I said you have to open up your whole country. And because I gave the European Union a 50% tax tariff, and they called up and they said, please, let's meet right now. Please, let's meet right now. And I said, okay, I'll give you till July 9. I actually asked them, I said, what's the date? Because they weren't willing to meet. And after I did what I did, they said, we'll meet anytime you want. And we have an end date of July 9th. You call that chickening out? Because we have $14 trillion now invested, committed to investing when Biden didn't have practically anything. This country was dying. We have the hottest country anywhere in the world. I went to Saudi Arabia. The king told me, he said, we have the hottest country in the world right now. 6 months ago, this country was stone cold dead. We had a dead country. We had a country people didn't think it was going to survive, and you ask a nasty question like that. It's called negotiation. You set a number. And if you go down, if I set a number at a ridiculous high number and I go down a little bit, they want me to hold that number, 145% tariff. Even I said, man, that really got up. You know how it got? Because of fentanyl and many other things, and you added it up. I said, where are we now? We're at 145%. I said, whoa, that's high. That's high. They were doing no business whatsoever, and they were having a lot of problems. We were very nice to China. I don't know if they're going to be nice to us, but we were very nice to China. And in many ways, I think we really helped China tremendously because, they were having great difficulty because we were basically going cold turkey with China. We were doing no business because of the tariff, because it was so high. But I knew that. But don't ever say what you said. That's a nasty question. Go ahead.
It really is. It's a nasty question. And of course, the only reason why they're bringing it up to try to get under his skin, to try to make him react in a way that's going to destroy everything that he's been working towards. This is ridiculous. And you know what? This is what I don't understand about the people that are in the press. They claim to be some of the most intelligent people anywhere. Some of these people come out of Harvard. They come out of Yale. They come out of Princeton. And they come out of these Ivy League schools, and they ask stupid questions like this, and they are unable to see what the country is doing and what the country wants because they live in this liberal utopia. That's the reason why they ask these stupid questions. I mean, really? Now, if I would have brought that up to President Trump, I would have made sure that President Trump known if I was in the room asking him that question. Yeah, the radical leftist lunatics, President, sir. And they're saying that you're chicken. And we don't see, the American people don't see that you're chicken, but they're trying to say this. This is exactly how I would have done it, because American people are not buying it. Absolutely not buying it. Now, listen to this one. This is one with Joe Rogan. And Joe Rogan is actually talking about kind of the same thing I was talking about in my monologue when I first started, about how President Trump has gone through everything. And he says that President Trump is like a crazy man, because only a crazy man can put up with the crazy stuff that the Democrats were doing to him and still move forward and not chicken out. I mean, really, it takes a special kind of person to put up with the crap that the Democrats have done to President Trump. Oh, let me tell you this too. Some people have forgotten it until I'm about to bring it up. You remember they impeached President Trump not once but twice. You remember that? They did the whole fake Russia collusion dossier against President Trump. Remember that? All of this was fraudulent stuff that they were doing against President Trump, trying to take him down. All of the 15 different women, where are they at now? Right? If it actually happened, then why be quiet about it? Oh, because he's president. No, they didn't be quiet with Bill Clinton, and he's the Democrat. Remember that? What was his name? Ken Starr? Oh, look at that. I remember that. Ken Starr, remember? And I considered myself a Democrat at that time. And I'm like, with Bill Clinton, I'm like, well, maybe Bill Clinton shouldn't have done it, but then unless he did it. And I was like, at the time, like, well, he is a man, I never did swing the other way. I'm just telling y'all right now. But they went after Bill Clinton because of his interactions with a woman. So why would all these 15, 17, 21 different women all of a sudden go away because President Trump is in the White House? I mean, hello.
It's also like, they're like, oh, he's a crazy person. I'm like, yeah, that's the only kind of person that would survive what you try to do to him.
Right.
That's the only kind of guy that gets through. Like, you want a perfect person? A perfect person morally falls apart by the time they've been indicted and they've 34 counts, felony counts. Like, your whole body's just destroyed by the stress of you possibly going to jail for the rest of your life. You have to be a insane person to ride that out and not look like anything even happened. Then you get shot.
Yeah.
You get up after you got shot. You're bleeding from your ear and you go fight. You got to be a crazy person to get through these. He's a nightmare for anybody that's trying to rig a system. Like, that guy's the nightmare. He's the final boss. You.
He's the final boss. Oh my goodness. Is it possible that President Trump could be the last awesome president this country ever has?
Don't say that.
I mean, I'm just asking the question because, look, there's never going to be another Trump.
There will never be another Trump.
There's never going to be another Trump. I'm
100%.
telling you right now. There's never going to be another Trump. Y'all let me know. Look, the phone line is open, especially if you're a radical leftist out there. I mean, 319-527-3453. Here's your opportunity to call Will Johnson and set me straight. Will Johnson, you got it wrong about President Trump. Well, not everyone thinks that way. Susan, thank you so much for the super chat on YouTube. Susan says Trump is taking care of business 100%. And this is what I voted for. This is what we voted for. We voted for President Trump to go into the White House and take care of business. And that's exactly what he's doing. And today, talking about taking care of business, today is Elon Musk's last day. And I think at some point today, maybe an hour from now or so, that President Trump and Elon Musk will be doing a press conference in the Oval Office, if I'm not mistaken, talking about all the achievements that he has done while he was there working with President Trump. And of course, the radical Democrats, they're all upset about it. Shannon, didn't you have some information that you wanted to share about the whole taco thing in China? Did you have something?
Yeah, actually, well, I wanted to share one of Trump's tweets here that he did this actually this morning, talking about China. Move this over real quick. Let me put this up on the screen.
Yeah, because he put a comment out there about the tariffs in China and what was taking place, correct? Yep, this is it right here.
He said this morning. He said 2 weeks ago, China was in grave economic danger, very high tariffs. He said, I set made virtually impossible for China to trade into the United States marketplace, which is by far number one in the world. We went, in effect, cold turkey with China, and it was devastating for them. Many factories closed, and there was, to put it mildly, a civil unrest. I saw what was happening, and I didn't like it. For them, not us, I made a real fast deal with China in order to save them from what I thought was going to be a very bad situation. And I didn't want to see that happen. Trump has a lot of heart. Because of this deal, everything quickly stabilized and China got back to business as usual. Everybody was happy. That was the good news. The bad news is that China, perhaps not surprisingly to some, has totally violated its agreement with us. So much for being Mr. Nice Guy.
So here's President Trump being Mr. Nice Guy with China to help them from having civil unrest in China because he didn't want it to happen. I mean, really? Trump has a huge heart. I mean, he really does.
He does
has
have-
a huge heart.
Yeah, and you know what? Well, I was like, okay, so this is apparently going everywhere. That the deal with China looks like it's gone. So I'm like, well, what happened? So I was trying to look it up. I was trying to figure out what happened, and this is what some analysts are saying. Some analysts are saying that the core issue may involve China's failure to ease non-tariff barriers, particularly restrictions on export of critical minerals essential for high-tech manufacturing. These minerals, including rare earth elements, are vital for producing semiconductors, electric vehicles, and defense technologies. The initial agreement had included provisions for China to consider lifting such export restrictions. In response to the alleged violations, the Trump administration is reportedly contemplating further actions, such as revoking Chinese student visas and imposing new restrictions on chip exports to China. Treasury Secretary Bessent acknowledged that the trade discussions with China have stalled, indicating a potential escalation in trade tensions. As of now, the specific details of China's purported violations remain undisclosed, and the situation continues to develop.
So they all want President Trump to basically collapse, and President Trump is actually making changes. Changes that they don't want to see. They actually want to see the collapse. Okay, we got some calls coming in. And look, I want to hear from you, 319-527-3453, if you think President Trump is a chicken, because I don't. Now, we're going to go to the phone calls, but I want to share some of these images that the radical leftist lunatics have put out there. Here's the first one. Let's go taco. Really?
I thought it was funny, actually.
It is funny. I mean, we have a sense of humor. We don't get all butthurt and take stuff personal like the radical left.
Memes really don't work for us.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't work. And here's another one. They thought it was gonna work with us. You see the tattoo on the hand? Taco.
Trump's probably going to come out and eat tacos next Tuesday.
Oh my goodness, that would be awesome.
Right?
That would be awesome. President Trump ate some tacos. Here's another one that we thought was funny. Taco man. I've got to be a taco man. I mean, come on. And see, they think that them creating these memes is going to get us all worked up and we're going to be upset about it. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. And they don't like the fact that we don't get upset by it. And here's another one. Here's the last one I want to share with you, the pictures. Trump always chickens out. And this is what they created.
That's what they're saying the taco stands for.
Yeah, that's what they're saying it stands for.
And they're talking about specifically with the tariffs, which we were talking about. They're saying that because he keeps changing how much he's charging.
Because he's negotiating.
He's negotiating.
He's negotiating.
These people have no idea what it is to run a business.
Yep.
Not even the media.
No.
My goodness.
No,
okay, Will.
Okay.
So we got 2 calls.
All right, let's go to the first one.
The first one, the last 4 numbers are 6280.
Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from? Oh. You there?
Yeah, 6280, you're on the line.
Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, my name is Charlene, and I'm calling from North Carolina.
Hello, Charlene. Thank you so much for the call. So what do you think? Is Trump chicken?
Oh, no, sir. I think he's the bravest man I've ever seen.
Oh, my
honestly.
goodness, yes.
He's so brave. And, you know, one thing I'd like to bring up, I don't know if you're okay with this, but I think our Senate, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
I think our Senate needs to stand up, stand up more and be more brave like our president.
I completely agree. Right now, I'm kind of upset with the Senate and the House because every single executive order that President Trump has signed, the House and the Senate should have a single bill for each and every one of them right now. They should have at least 160 bills that they've tried to push through as of today.
Yeah, it's not like they didn't know he was coming. You know what I mean? They knew this for 4 years, right?
Yes.
I mean, this ain't their first day on the job.
Yeah. It's not their first rodeo. They know how you know what? The Republicans, they could have made history. They could have made history right along with President Trump, but they refuse to do it.
They sit by, it's like they don't care. Are they being paid by someone? What's the deal? Because I see a lot of like true MAGA people like us that would actually go in there. We've never had any experience before, but I think we could do a lot better than they have, and they don't fight for us.
100%. And I look at them and see, I think if I went on Capitol Hill and I was there and I'm a politician, I'm gonna go to each one of their doors. I would go at Mike Johnson's door. Is there a reason why we don't have a single bill pushing this out right now? He just did an executive order. He just did another executive order. We should be doing a bill on this right now, getting it to the floor.
Yeah,
What's the problem?
I think they've been working on the big, beautiful bill so long that
so basically they can't walk and chew gum at the same time.
Right. But Tim Burchett, if you go to his X, follow him if you don't, he said that he is going to start doing one single item bills to codify Trump's executive orders. He said he's going to start doing that when they get back. So I hope he does, because you're absolutely right, Charlene. It seems like they're not getting enough done. Actually, it doesn't seem. They are not getting enough done. Even though this big, beautiful bill is the biggest bill in history, apparently, and even though it does have a lot of things that Trump wanted to get done, is not enough, because midterms are right around the corner. Right around the corner.
And we're looking for heroes. You know what I mean? That's what we need
perfect.
Right now.
Yes.
I feel like President Trump's a hero, but, and like Stephen Miller, of course, and Marco Rubio is doing an amazing job.
Oh, my goodness. Marco Rubio has been knocking it out the park. I have so much more respect for Marco Rubio now.
So true.
So that's just like, I'm sorry to hold y'all up.
No, you're good. You're good.
You know what? I think what you said is so true. And I think you hit it right on the dot. We're looking for heroes, and Trump's already a hero. We already know that. But we are so expecting our Republicans to step up with the opportunity they have to get things done, and they're disappointing us.
And you know what makes it more frustrating is that the fact that we saw Elon Musk, not being a politician, come in and work with President Trump and get the job done. I mean, really.
I don't understand. I think a lot of the mega people are just like we are. Like, what is going on? Like, it's frustrating.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you.
But
go ahead.
He's not a chicken. So he's not a chicken.
No.
He's the bravest man.
They know that.
Yep, 100%.
And they know that.
100%. Well, thank you so much for the call, and have a
Thanks,
wonderful
Charlene.
weekend.
Have a great weekend.
Thank y'all. Blessed day.
All right, take care.
All right. Well, the next caller, the last four numbers are 7940. You're on the line.
Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Sam. I'm calling from Virginia.
Hello, Sam. Is Trump a chicken or not?
No, he's definitely not. No, I've been liking him ever since he went down the escalator in 2015. I'm a big fan of his.
Same here. Same here. So, do you think?
Also,
go ahead.
There's a video on YouTube about his family. His family from Scotland, and his grandparents was in the Scotland revival.
Yep, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with where he is now. I believe God has a call on his life.
100%.
You know
What he's
what?
doing.
You can't
100%.
make it up. He absolutely does. Look at the man actually
Yeah.
has now had failed assassinations on his
Yep.
life. He is still
Ye-
standing. And
Yep.
now, Sam, he's a bigger Christian than he was before. So amen.
Yeah, that's so true.
And the thing is,
You had a
the
question?
radical left, they didn't want President Trump to be a Christian. They want Trump to reject God. But because
Right.
what they did to him, they pushed him. They pushed him more to believe.
Yeah. Yeah. That kind of humbled him after he was shot. I really believe that kind of humbled him
I
a
agree.
little bit.
I agree. I agree 100%. He had a different outlook on life. Most definitely.
Yes.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
So,
Did you have a question for me?
no, well, thank you so much for the call.
Okay.
All right.
No problem.
All right. Take care, Sam.
Thanks, Sam. Have a great weekend. All right, Will, we have Kimberly from Maine.
Hello, Kimberly. Thank you so much for the call on this wonderful Friday.
Hey, happy Friday.
Yes. So is Trump chicken?
No way. He's the only one to be able to. He's been the only one brave enough to take on the deep state, and that takes a lot. They got a lot of arms. They're like an octopus with all the tentacles.
Mm-hmm.
But I am so proud of Trump for not only just continuing to stay on, but to pick people who are also brave. And Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, Pete Hedgecliffe, Tom Homan. Oh my word. Thank God for Tom Homan. Hey, they came over here in Maine and emptied out our county jails of the illegals in
Nice.
Portland, Maine.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
good
like
things
Homan
are
too.
starting to happen.
I like Homan too. And you know what? That man, other than Trump, and other than Elon with Doge, but he's one of the other men that's just been he's been on the ground ever since Trump got into office and making things happen. I mean, it's incredible. I hope that history talks about how great some of these men were. And Marco Rubio's right there with them.
I think they will. I think they will, because Tom Homan, I have so much respect for him. And I never knew him before, but just the way he talks and, he means business. And honestly, I am really impressed with Marco Rubio.
That's what we've been
liked
saying
him initially, but I just think he has grown so much, and he's maybe because, if you run against a fast runner, it makes you faster. And I think Marco being around Trump, he has taken on all of those qualities, the brave qualities that, we just got to do this. It doesn't matter the consequence. We got to just stick with the truth and keep going.
You know what? And it says a lot to Marco Rubio's character, the fact that when they were campaigning against one another and President Trump was calling Marco Rubio, little Marco Rubio, remember? And Marco Rubio, like President Trump was taking stuff from Marco Rubio and they were dishing it back and forth, but they understood this is just politics. They're at each other, but for the greater good, they have to fight for our country. And Marco Rubio, my goodness, it really, I have a different respect for him.
He's not so little anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not a little Marco Rubio anymore. He got some big ones right now.
Let me ask you, Kimberly, do you think at this point, let's say at the end of Trump's term, do you see that Marco Rubio running for president or Vance?
Or both of them together?
Both of them together makes sense.
Which one would you like to be the top of the ticket?
Because I don't know, I respect JD Vance, but I think there's still a lot of questions about him, and he's doesn't seem as forthright. I mean, that may not be true, but I don't know as much about him, and I tend to, try to keep myself up on what's happening, and it's hard to know, about him.
I agree with you. I think it's hard, but also because of his position. Being VP, you don't have the opportunities Marco Rubio has major opportunities to shine in his positions, but JD Vance really doesn't.
Yeah, he has to, as VP, he has to create a niche that he, this is the place he's going to focus on and do, have his own pearl in the government where he can shine.
Well, I'll say this much. I think if we have a JD Vance or a Marco Rubio in the position come 2028, it's going to be 1,000 times better than any single Democrat or the entire Democrat Party.
Amen
Yeah,
to that.
we already have an A team. Any one of those people
Oh, yes.
would be great.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we can't.
And, I got to say,
go ahead.
I love Trump's humor. The McDonald's, the garbage truck driver, the name calling.
Yep.
I mean, it's hilarious. And I'm so happy to be on a side that has humor.
Yep. Give me the mean tweets.
You know
I
what
like
they
them.
say? Trump has, they say that Trump has the best sense of humor. I mean, people say in real life, he is totally funny. And even with this taco thing, I think that
he's going to be laughing.
He's going to turn it around and make fun of it. To be honest with you, he's going to be like, "Get me some tacos.
He'll be working at Taco
Let me eat
Bell.
some tacos."
You know it.
Yep, absolutely.
Wow.
Well,
hey, one more thing.
Go ahead.
Maine AG Aaron Fry, our Attorney General, is protecting illegals. So if anybody from Trump administration hears this, AG, they probably already know it, but Aaron Fry, we got to get him out of here.
I'm pretty sure they're going to make their rounds and get around to him. Just like the latest bus was in Florida. Did you see the video on that? Oh my goodness.
The bus in Florida?
Oh,
no.
Yes.
Did a huge illegal bus
my goodness, it was
on a work site.
It was huge.
Really?
And the thing is, all of the radical leftist lunatics are upset. They're saying they're literally building America and President Trump is deporting them. Really? And now the DOJ, to my understanding, has been reported that they're going to look into the company that was actually hiring all of these people. These could be American jobs. And yes. President Trump is bringing American jobs, but see, the radical leftist lunatics don't want Americans to have the jobs. They want people to come in for basically slave labor, is what they want.
That's exactly it.
That's what they want. They want slave labor.
All about the money.
Yep, 100%. 100%. Well, Kimberly, thank you so much for the call.
Thank you. Have a great weekend, guys.
You too. Take care.
Thanks, Kimberly. You too.
Bye-bye. All right.
All right. Well, we have Susan on the line.
Hello, Susan. Thank you so much for the call.
Hey, Will. Hey, Shannon.
Hey,
How you
hey.
guys doing this morning?
We are doing good.
So, Susan.
Hey, Trump is a master troller, I swear to God.
Oh, yes.
I love how he trolls people. And oh my God, and like the last caller said, it's hilarious.
Yeah, how is it that they don't? How is it that you think that they don't understand that he's trolling them? I mean, you see it, I see it. Most people with two brain cells, we all see it, but they're not able to figure it out. Why is that? Why do you think that is?
I think they have brain damage. That's what I think.
For me, I say that they have two brain cells left. They only have two brain cells, and those two brain cells are social distancing from one another. There's no communication.
They're doing the 6 feet apart thing, with a mask on and shit.
Stay away.
I think it's hilarious. I cannot believe that. I mean, and so many people get so, like you said, butthurt over stupid things. It's like, come on, man, can't we all just get along? I mean, all this stuff was done and over with in the 70s and 80s, where everybody was hating each other and all that kind of goofiness.
And that's interesting you bring that up, because I remember when Bush was in office, I'm talking about Junior, that, the country was like getting kind of past all of it. And then Obama came. And then the racism and everything just intensified. And I'm like, dude, what is this all about? I recognized it. And at the time, I considered myself a Democrat. And I just saw, and Obama actually helped me become from a Democrat to a Republican, or independent to a Republican to a conservative to what I am today, a MAGA extremist.
And we need to be. I mean, we're trying to save our country. We're not trying to destroy anything.
Exactly.
And if
Exactly.
we're all against each other, how in the heck are we going to save anything?
Yep.
It's like, I talk to everybody. I talk to everybody when I'm at the store or whatever. I don't care what color their skin is or where they came from.
Yep.
I talk to everybody. It's to me, it's like, and a lot of people are like, they act like they're scared. It's like, what are you scared of? I ain't scared of.
Well, because they believe in all the fear mongering, what it is. They believe all the fear mongering. Oh my goodness, the price of eggs. They believe all of it. And then when the price of eggs come down, then they completely forgot that they were scared about it. Then they start making up something else. Oh, President Trump is now deporting American citizens, which is a bunch of BS, knowing good and well he's not doing it, but they keep saying it because they want people to be scared.
It's ridiculous. It's like, hello.
Yep.
I mean, half of my family is black. I'm related to the blacks in my town, almost all of them.
Well, if you really think about it, we're all on the same planet together. So there's some relationship somewhere.
I look at everybody like, okay, we're all the human race.
Thank you.
If we don't have skin on us, we all look the same.
Yep, 100%. 100%.
And I don't understand, as far as, because I was a Navy brat, so I was around a lot of different people all the time, and it's like, I ain't mad at the people. I'm mad at the people that are in charge,
Yeah. Yep, because they're the ones creating a division. So absolutely, 100%.
Exactly. What is I think it's because that way they can get around their crimes and whatnot, and nobody's paying attention.
Yep, no one pays attention to it. 100%. Well, hey, thank you so much for the call, and have a wonderful weekend.
You guys too. Love you guys.
Love you
Thanks,
back.
Susan.
Take care.
Hey, well, I just want to show everybody real quick. So this was the bust in Florida.
Yes.
Where it was a work site, and almost all these workers were illegal. You can see them all out there lined up. And look at this picture.
Yeah. They said there were so many vehicles, police vehicles there.
Look at all those people they arrested.
Personnel.
Trump
Yeah.
said that he's actually going to go after the company that hired all of these illegals.
That's wild.
Because like you said, Will, those are American jobs.
Yeah.
All right.
And the Democrats don't want Americans to have American jobs because the Democrats want Americans to depend on the federal government. And with President Trump getting rid of Section 8 and all this other stuff, wasteful spending, and people not getting jobs and just sitting on their backside every single day while we work and we pay for them to sit at home, President Trump is saying, no more. No more. Have y'all seen the videos really quick before we go to the next phone call? Have y'all seen the videos of these people complaining that President Trump is getting rid of their food stamps? You know what? Sometimes they get like $200 a week for food stamps. You know what I could do with $200 in food stamps right now? I could use it. I really could. I mean, the way they hit me financially, I'm begging people to help me and support me. I really am. And I don't like it. But they hit me financially hard, and they do this constantly to people because they want people like Will Johnson to be silent. And they figure, well, if we can crush Will Johnson financially, he'll be silent. But I know God Almighty is in control. That's the reason why I keep pushing forward. That's the reason why I keep trying to do what I'm doing, because they want me to fail. They want me to quit. They want me to stop. I've had people throughout the years constantly support me. And if I were to just quit, I'm quitting on them. I'm quitting on my country. And ultimately I'm quitting on God, because I do believe that God put me in this position for me to speak up and say something. Because when I was a kid, I would say nothing. People used to do me wrong when I was a kid, and I would say nothing about it. I'll never forget it. My mother, she used to get upset with me because I was so silent about it. She said, why are you letting them do this to you? And you don't even say anything. Now here I am talking, and the world wants me to be silent. So I have to give God all credit for me standing out and doing what I'm doing. And when I go out and talk to people, this is the reason why I'm constantly asking people, like right now, if you're watching on Rumble, can you please bless me by hitting a thumbs up? Same thing on YouTube. And same thing on peel.net. Please hit that gold button. Please hit the go button, because it helps with the algorithm to get more people to tune in. All right, we got another caller, Shannon?
Yep, we have Victoria.
Hey, Victoria, thank you so much for the call.
Hey, how y'all doing?
And it's Friday, and we're blessed because you called us, and we have everybody else calling us.
Well,
What do you think,
so
Victoria?
far, everything I've been listening to, you've had a great show.
Oh, thank you.
I'm glad I'm almost last because I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but there's been something on my chest that I just want to get off that's bothering me.
Okay, what's that?
Well, first off, I want everybody to know I love President Trump too. I do think he's the greatest of all time.
Okay.
But he made a comment the other day. I forget what all they was talking about. It's hard for me to talk about this. That's how upsetting this is. And they were talking about our money. Well, I've been doing research for the last 10 years on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When Hillary and Trump were the last two running, that's when I started doing all my research. And I looked at the Epoch Times, and there was a lot of stuff the CCP made them get rid of. And they introduced me to how the digital currency was used in China. And Trump brought that up the other day about digital currency.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I get a check electronically dropped into my bank account every month, right?
Okay.
I'm on fixed income. I'm retired. And I don't get much. I get like $900 a month. That's supposed to cover everything. And I worked all my life. But this digital currency, there's a difference. When they put that money on your phone digitally, if you don't comply with what they say in the future, they can wipe your account out. No questions asked, and you can't borrow money from nobody. Nobody else can loan you any money to help you out.
Well,
that is the trap, and that's what I'm afraid they're doing, and that's what I'm afraid they're up to, while everybody else is looking at all this other stuff going on. And there's a lot of great stuff going on, but I'm scared.
So
I'll be honest,
let me say this, Victoria. Let me say this to you, because I completely understand what you're saying and where you're coming from. But did you know when Joe Biden was in office, they were already doing that to certain conservatives?
Yeah.
Without even going to digital. I mean, basically, if you really think about it right now, everything currency has already become digital. It's been digital for some time now. And I'm with you. I don't really care for it. I don't like it either, because of what the Bible tells us in the last days. It's clear that you won't be able to buy or sell unless you have the mark. And that's what I mean. It's going to be digital. I mean, it's kind of goes without saying it, because we're in the day and age now to where we completely understand that the Antichrist, the evil one, these radical Democrats, they're going to use it to their ability to weaponize it against us. China's already done it, and it's on its way. I mean, it's on its way. I don't think we can stop it. Just to be honest with you, and the point, not to make excuses for it, but just to say the reason why President Trump is looking so hard at the digital currency, looking at Bitcoin and all of this, is because the rest of the world is already moving in that direction. Now, either we can try to be the controllers of it, or we allow them to control it. Because if they're the controllers of it, they can do exactly what you said. They can cut America off at that point. So either we try to control it or not. And it is scary times. I'm not taking it away from you, but we don't need to be scared at the same time, because this is what the Bible told us what would happen. And I think we should be rejoicing, be happy about it, that you get the experience and you get to see the Bible unfold right before our very eyes.
Well, I think you will. And I'll think about what you said.
Yeah. Rejoice in it. God got this.
Okay.
God got this.
Well, like I said, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer.
And you're fine. You know what? You're concerned. And there's nothing wrong with you being concerned. But at the end of the day, we just need to know that God is in control. And it's going to happen. Either the Bible is true or it's not true. And I believe the Bible is true. And it's already gone to the point to where we can't stop it. Look how they're implementing AI right now. I mean, there's no stopping it. I mean, if I could stop it, I would, but there's no stopping it. But we don't need to be afraid.
You, Will.
All right, take care. Have a wonderful weekend.
You too, Shannon.
Oh,
Bye.
thanks, Victoria.
Right,
have a great
care.
weekend. All right. Well, we have one more caller. We got Amanda Collins on the
Hello,
line.
Amanda. Amanda, is Trump chicken?
Hello.
Is Trump chicken?
No, no, it's tacos, and margaritas.
I think
Trump is
today
the
I'm gonna go
man.
get me some tacos. I kind of
I'm
want some
going to
tacos after
tacos.
all this talk of tacos.
I am definitely going to tacos. I missed Taco Tuesday this week, so I'm definitely going. I have a spot that I take my son to, so we're definitely going to go when his dad come back home. And you know what? I totally agree with everyone. I think a lot of the people right now, Will, like you said, they're not leaning on Jesus. They're absolutely scared, but don't be afraid,
Right.
because God's got us. Look, I'm not a rich person. But I remember, Will, growing up where we didn't worry about if the milk came in the morning. No one had SNAP. No one had food stamps. No one had, basically our neighbors would come borrow an egg, or, they come and they say, you got any sugar? We're making Kool-Aid tonight. And everybody was helping. Where did that generation go? I don't see the world collapsing the way that they do, because every time we turn around, we gotten through another month, and everything worked out. So, your rent is going to be paid. Your car payment got paid. We don't look at, oh my gosh, are we going to be homeless tomorrow? Who cares? I've been homeless before. So you know what? I had the best time not having money than having it. And everybody's all like, oh, nothing's going to get done. Okay, let's take this back a step. We've gotten more, I'm going to not say the word, shift done. We got more stuff done this year than the last 4 years of a meltdown.
Oh my goodness.
Trump has absolutely blown everyone out the water with the deals, the deficits, the taxes, the tax breaks.
Within 200
Why
days.
are they not celebrating?
Within 200
come on,
days.
For God's sake. You may not want the people you have not gotten arrested. Who cares? Who cares?
Well,
Stop worrying about that. Their time is coming with Jesus.
Amanda, I think what it is that a lot of people, they and I have to say that I'm somewhat in that boat too. That when because you just mentioned it, that we wanted to see President Trump get these people, and I've said it multiple times that if President Trump doesn't get them, if he doesn't get them, they're going to come back with full vengeance. Look how they're talking about Elon Musk right now. As soon as they get the opportunity, they're going to bring up lawsuits. They're going to try to shut down his companies. They're going to even try to put Elon Musk in jail, not because he's done something wrong, but because he exposed what they were doing. And you're being a billionaire, you're not supposed to do that. So they're going to they have a revengeful heart against Elon Musk right now.
They've been revengeful. They've been coming after us for a long time,
yes.
And God has been knocking them down. You can bring it. Look at, like you said with Trump, he's like the Terminator. He don't came back with a 2-term deficit here, 3rd term, and he pulled through. He made sure that people said, look, he almost got assassinated twice. What do that tell you? God is working. God is here. And 100%. Even if they get arrested, they can't get everybody. They cannot get everybody. They're going to try their best to destroy everybody. But the thing is, you cannot destroy what God has coming. It doesn't matter if they don't get arrested like we want them to. They have to stand before God on their judgment day.
Yes,
and that's
100%.
The worst thing. When people don't see what we see, they're worried about, the promises. I said, wait a minute. Without them getting the little people, think about the biggest organization out here. Arrests are being made. Did you see what they did in Florida with the illegals?
Yeah, we were just talking about that before you came on.
We didn't break. I'm telling you.
And you know what? And Amanda, they're upset. They're upset saying, and I've said this earlier, I'll repeat it again. They're upset saying, oh, look at this. These people are actually building America, and President Trump is trying to stop them. This is...
But not one of the American people here, they don't realize that they are so busy talking about what the illegals was going to get. Are you American? Do you not want them out so you can get the damn job? Excuse my language. But do you realize that trade school is getting $9,000 for... and they're going to give it to American citizens for the trade school. You
You get them taking back all of that money from Harvard. He's giving it $9,000 per person to go get a trade. And right now he's handing Americans their job and their dream. What is wrong with you people? You know, we do need these illegals out, and the corporations and the people who hired them, let's just say this, they did not open their doors for business during the whole shutdown for Americans like us. No, we didn't even hear about the
And then,
jobs,
you know what? And
we didn't even know they were hiring.
Yeah, and exactly, to bring up that point when Victoria was saying that they were trying to, you know, with the digital currency, that they're going to end up just shutting people's bank accounts and prevent you from having access during that time period. There was a guy in California that was trying to stay alive, trying to keep his business operating, and he refused to shut his doors. And come to find out, even today, now some of those on the left, they were admitting, well, yeah, maybe we shouldn't have shut him down, but they shut his bank account down so he could not operate his business. So they were already doing it. They did it in Canada. And and I think that's where they got the idea from, because they saw Trudeau shutting down the bank accounts of people that were helping out these truckers because they were getting them fuel, they were getting them food and water. Say, oh, how dare you help these truckers out? We're going to shut your bank account down, because they were helping somebody. It was completely disgusting. And they're going to do it more in the future.
Absolutely. You have to realize my son's dad has a trucking industry. He's in on we had 5 trucks this year, but we lost drivers. He's actually you know, right now he's doing business right now as an owner op with Bennett. And you know, and a lot of people don't realize that we did Laredo, Texas to Canadian lows. We did military lows. We got banned from going up there. And even though people don't know this, they're only doing like $2 to $3 per mile. And that was wrong to do all those truckers like that. You barely is making American people money while they sat at Harvard giving out all of our scholarships, baking the fact that they had dual citizenship coming through the back border. Well, let me give you a piece of news. Canada was the first one to invade America with a backdoor of illegals on a visa program. I'm going to say that again. Canada, back in 1984-85, was the first one to admit that they had a foreign exchange student program with visas, the same birthright inherited visa that they're talking about today to bring these people through. Canada bought them here first. So these people need to wake up and realize that this has been going on in America. They have been exchanging the student program in Americans out for years. And we have been sitting here being denied jobs. And you know, you have a president right now, his IQ level is off the chain, Will, but he is proving people
and they can't stand
that we needed that money. He said, I'm going to take Harvard, I'm going to take the $3 trillion that you gave away, and I'm going to put that back in the trade school for Americans, and I'm going to give them an opportunity to get the same job opportunity you're giving
and
these people.
They can't
and
stand
we are
it.
Clearing people out. They are going crazy. But they should be proud that their kids growing up right now get an opportunity they never had. What are you complaining about? God
they're
is
liberals.
working on our
they
side.
don't care.
And I told this lady yesterday, I told her in chat, I said, look, I understand that nothing's getting done where you are because you're too chicken to call your sheriff department, but your government is the reason why you keep voting for him. If he isn't working with ICE agents to clear up your area like Florida's doing, you know what I did, Will? I talked to my friend who's a local sheriff, and I told him I needed someone to come into my area because we had illegals living in the apartment down the street from me. And guess what happened? They had raided them last week. They took 12 illegals with ICE agents, shut down my street and took those illegals because I spoke up to my own sheriff. I said, you can do me a favor, call Pam Bondi and say, we need ICE agents in my area. Here's the address where these people are living. And you know what? They went in there and got 12 illegals that wasn't even supposed to be here. And I was going to go get gas, Will, and they had told me, we're going to turn you back around and you can come later. And when I got to the store later, the guy that's in there that I speak to, he said, thank you for calling. He said, thank you for calling and letting us know that these people were here, because if you don't say anything, they're going to stay.
Yeah. Well, the thing
And they're
is, you're
going
going
to
to have
be
the
here
radical
in your
left. They're going to
area.
be upset with you because you said something. It's just like this thing that happened in Florida. They don't want people to say anything. The left, they have become completely lawless, and they don't want anyone to speak out against it. So, well, hey, Amanda.
I spoke up about the
Yeah.
swatting
Hey,
too.
Amanda.
Yeah.
I got to
Yes.
go because I only have like 5 minutes
Well,
left.
okay,
You know,
yeah,
I'm
you're
gonna
right.
be
I'm
on.
sorry, guys.
No,
but
you're
you guys
good.
have
You're
a good
good.
day.
I'm just gonna tell you. No, I'm gonna be on the
Happy
Culture
Friday.
Wars. I'm gonna be on the Culture Wars, and I'm gonna open up the phone line there as well. So, I mean, I love it when you call me. So,
Thanks,
Thank you.
Amanda. Thanks for preaching it.
okay, take care, Amanda.
You're welcome.
God bless.
Have a
Okay,
good
God
one.
bless. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, let me say thank you to John on YouTube. Thank you, John, for the super chat. Shannon, John says, "Have some tacos on me." Thank you so much, John.
Okay, then we're having tacos.
Yep, I'm gonna have tacos. John just bought me some taco. I'm gonna get a taco. I'm gonna be a taco man. Here, let me put that back up on the screen again.
Right.
I'm gonna be a taco man right here. Do it. Put it up on the screen. I'm gonna be a taco man. Thank you so much, John. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yep, right there. Taco man. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Okay, everybody. Man, this hour went by so fast. And I have so much other content and so many other things that I want to share with you. But time is time, but I will have some other stuff that I'm going to share with you on the Culture Wars if you're interested. The best way to get there is go to my website, and I'm going to show you that in just a second. But first, let me tell you about this coffee, this 1775coffee.com. Actually, Shannon's going to tell you about the 1775coffee.com/studio. You got to check it out.
Yep, that's right, Will. If you haven't tried 1775 coffee yet, well, now is your shot. They have this starter kit that you got to try. In this starter kit, you're going to be getting the bold dark roast that hits harder than a CNN fact check. You're going to be getting a single origin you're going to get the Vitality mushroom coffee for clean energy and laser focus, no crush. All single origin, small batch, toxin free and mold free. Plus, you're also going to get this. You're going to get a gold spoon clip because freedom isn't scoop of plastic. You're going to get a frother. That's awesome. You're also going to be getting the black 1775 tumbler that says life advice. I don't take life advice from or coffee from a woke sea witch. All of this is actually worth $170, but you're going to get it for $99. But what you need to do is go to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they are gone. That's right. 1775.com/studio and you get $10 off. It's a great deal. Go check it out.
Yep, go check it out. Go check it out. And what I was just saying a second ago, if you go to my website, uniteamericafirst.com, let me put that up there, Shannon, uniteamericafirst.com. And right there at the top of the page, you can see the different shows that I do. You can see this show that's right now. When you click on that, it'll take you to it. And then at the same time, at the one at 1 o'clock my time, 1 o'clock Central, 1 p.m. The other one's at 11 a.m. But the next one is at 1 p.m. Central. I will be on LFA TV. And my show there is called Culture Wars. And I'm going to share some stuff over there that I can't share over here because of YouTube and Facebook. Now, we are live on X right now. X American News. We're live on X American News on X right now and other places. But if you go to my website, uniteamericafirst.com, please support me as well. You can see right there, you can become a monthly supporter, which I greatly appreciate you. Or if you just want to say, I'm going to help Will Johnson out this one time, I get it. I would appreciate it if you would consider it. If God puts it on your heart, please try one of these options right here. Some people want them, some people don't want them. But the people that don't want to do anything like, the digital version there, I do have a physical address down at the bottom. If my producer can go down there to it, maybe not. But down at the bottom of the page, you can see right there my physical address. And as I've said multiple times before, when people send me letters in the mail, I've kept the envelope and the letter. I've kept every single one from the very first one. I've kept every single one. It's in Will Johnson's non-presidential library. But UniteAmericaFirst.com/donate, everybody. Please, if you would, consider going there and helping me. And also, my AC went out. Had to get the compressor replaced. And I don't know if you know, I don't know. I'm not into that business, but it is apparently extremely expensive to get an air compressor replaced in your AC unit. So if you have it in your heart and God puts it on your heart, please consider going to givesendgo.com/fix my AC. I put out there the exact amount, and you can see people have been blessing me. People have been blessing me to get my AC fixed. People have been blessing me. So we're almost halfway there, So if you can consider it, God puts it on your heart, givesendgo.com/fix my AC. All right, everybody, that's it for me. I will see you at Culture Wars. I will have the phone line open up there as well. God bless everybody. Other than that, I'll see you on the flip side.